Vin's a patient for a cop. He's...
Okay, Vinny, what is a zombie in your perspective?
Well, there's really two forms. First one is the one we all really know and love from the movies and thrillers that we've all seen. Something, be it human or whatever have you, that's gone past the point of life and death and just comes back through any other means.
Interesting. So do you think a zombie is something that is controlled by a virus or another human being, or just pretty much just dead crops, just a dead person?
I think it's pretty much the first two things you said, because I mean, a dead person, I mean, you're considered dead, like when you go flatline.
Yeah.
So I mean, and there's been many stories of like how a person has had an outer world experience of seeing their own body from above, as in like spirit form or some other perspective. Yet when they're brought back through CPR in the hospital, whatever, I mean, either way they've had a death experience. I mean, you're considered dead when you go flatlined.
Let me think. What would you do if a zombie attacked you? What kind of weapons or mass destruction would you do to a zombie, one zombie or multiple zombies?
Shit, I never really thought about that. One zombie, hammer always works. Second, many-handed zombies. Unless the gun store is nearby, I have no clue.
So
No.
can I use this?
No.
No? So if you had this hammer and a zombie came up to you and totally attacked you, where would you hit? Would you hit the arm, or would you hit the chest, or the leg, or the foot, or the hand? Where would you hit first?
I'd probably hit them somewhere away from the head first, primarily because the first thing I'm thinking is this really a zombie? I mean, anybody could walk up to me and pretend to be a zombie, and I mean, I could really fuck somebody. So I mean, like, depending on the reaction of, like, say I hit you like square in the nuts, I mean, and you're just like keep coming, I'm gonna start wondering at that point.
But if you knew it was a zombie, if like the news and everybody was like zombie apocalypse, and the zombie just came up to you right there, what would you aim first?
Okay, if I knew, then definitely the head. I mean, there is some truth to the whole notion of how to take down a zombie, as I said. I mean, the brain controls every part of the body. I mean, regardless. I mean, there's no topping that. Go for that, you're good to go.
So you would use this hammer and strike in the head?
First and foremost, yeah, and if I failed, probably have to wrestle the damn thing and break its neck.
Wrestle? But if you get scratched or bit, you could be infected.
Well, it depends. I mean, the main thing that I'm worrying about primarily is not getting infected.
But then you could die eventually. He could still have his revenge, the zombie, if you could think it that way. The zombie won if he got you into a zombie.
No, that is very true. I mean, hammer only goes so far. I mean, there are a list of other things around me, but even so.
So you would use something else than a hammer. I mean, this is just the one main weapon that we have right now is this hammer. You would probably use something longer, like a sword or something.
If I had that on me, I probably would still use it, even if it's not like the greatest choice.
Or would you use a gun?
Definitely. We had ammo, ammunition, and guns nearby, yeah.
But, I mean, a gun could track sound, and that also attracts more zombies than just that one.
It's true. I mean, it really depends on where you're at, and I mean, at what point. Like, where you're at and what point, the zombie attack happens. I mean, if it's one, I mean, the first thing I'm going to be wondering is how the fuck did it get in? And if the door is open or something, well, then I'm going to close the door, I don't know.
Where would you go if the zombie apocalypse happened? First place in mind.
First place in mind? Ranch.
Like a farm ranch. Why there?
Well, it's not populated for one, it's in the middle of nowhere. Again, the real main issue, it's not populated at all. So, I mean, like, you're good for a while. I Number two, I mean, like, because you have so much space and things out there, I mean, it really depends on you yourself and the fauna that's out there. But I mean, the ranch I think is probably the best place to go, unless you can hit up a Walmart before everybody else does. I mean, like, you want to avoid places where a lot of people are going to gather, at least in my own opinion. Because I mean, the odd chance that one of their loved ones is out there and they're a zombie, I mean, you're not going to think. You're just going to be like,
Yeah.
that's my loved one, I have to save them. Then guess what? You just put everybody in jeopardy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the ideal place to be, I mean, especially if you're by a river, fish, good to go.
But you could go fish, and the fish might be infected.
It's true. I mean, again, I'm really going with things that come to mind right off the bat because, I mean, the thing you're not going to be thinking of is, you're not going to be thinking right off the bat like, okay, well, what's the infection and this and that? No, you're going to be thinking, there's fucking zombies. I mean, you get out. It's number one. Number
That's
two.
number one, yeah.
And like number two, I mean, you're going to try to find the necessities right off the bat. So, I mean, like, how am I supposed to know the damn fish is a zombie or some shit?
I don't mind if there's like 5 people or 10 people, but
Well, that's the problem, though. I mean, think about it. Supermarkets, HEBs, I mean, those are very populated places.
not really if you're in a place that is like a small town. But you don't want to go. You don't want to be in the same a big town. You don't want to go to a big town. That's why you leave with nothing and go to a small populated town, and that's where you get your ammo and everything.
Assuming that place hasn't been hit itself.
Hit by what?
The infection.
Well, it's gonna be a hit. Everything's gonna be hit.
Well, and that's
But
the
it's
case,
just
then,
not-
especially in HEB in a small town. I mean,
But it's just not gonna be more zombies there because there's a less population.
think of it this way. There might be a bigger population, but I mean, there is also more places to hide in a bigger city, which is the advantage. Versus a small city, I mean, there's not many places to hide. That's number one. You don't really have many places to go outside that small city. And three, I mean, limited resources. Oh yeah, everybody's gonna fucking raid those places. Everybody's gonna raid those places.
Zombies, hiding from zombies. It's not really a good idea.
Well, there was one idea that one of my friends did have as far as it comes to like HEB and those kind of places. Don't go to the main place where everybody's planning on going.
True.
Get the trucks.
True. Very
Like
true.
straight up, hijack the trucks, and take off.
That is actually a good one. I like that.
What does a zombie look like? Do you know?
Oh, most things I've noticed they have in common when it comes to the two different types we listed earlier is they both seem mindless in the sense of, I mean, you used to have the movie versions where they walk around, and there's even some where they run at you with full rage. And I don't know about you, but a zombie running at me would fucking scare the shit out of me.
Well, perspection wise, look at wise,
Perspection wise,
blood, torn up shirt, baggy hair, loose arms.
no, I don't even think even that. I mean, yeah, that would be definitely a sign. But I mean, like, a more obvious sign is like someone who doesn't, like, reply at all and it just continues coming at you.
Yeah,
I mean, like, from the typical behavior of a human being.
yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why we're different from typical animals. I mean, you try to tell a stray dog or whatever to, like, not come at you, it's gonna come at you.
Yeah,
Especially if it's got rabies or something.
yeah,
Human being knows when to fuck off. So, I mean, I think it's when that intent of harm is there and they're still coming at you regardless of your constant, warnings and stuff. I mean, that's, sign number 2 at that point. I mean, regardless zombie or not, take off.
Interesting.
It's better. Wenn's a patient for